الرحمن الرحيم الحمد لله رب العالمين الرحمن الرحيم مالك يوم الدين إياك نعبد وإياك نستعين اهدنا الصراط المستقيم صراط الذين أنعمت عليهم غير المغضوب عليهم ولا الضالين آمين. So what I've just recited is the opening chapter of the Holy Quran called the Fatiha, the opening. That Muslims recite at the beginning of every unit of their prayer, as well as at other times through the day. And it is particularly relevant and apposite for the discussion today because it deals in the first half with the nature of the divine being. And in the second half, with the nature of the human interaction with the divine being. The divine being characterized here, praise be to God, or thanks be to God. Alhamdulillah, we offer up thanks to God. And then there are three attributes that are mentioned. The first is that he is Rabbil Alameen, which means that he is the Rabb, difficult word to translate, but the cultivator of everything in the universe. That he is entirely defined by mercy. He is Rahman and Rahim. He is all benevolent and ever merciful. And that he is ascribed with the attribute of justice, that he is Maliki Yawmiddin, the sovereign on the day of judgment. And in these attributes, there are many points of reflection, one of which is about the nature of peace and justice. The Rahman is the one who brings a comprehensive and holistic sense of mercy, and that is a mercy that brings peace, the salam, in other words. And the Malik is the one who is utterly just and fair. So these notions of justice and peace are not merely moral virtues, but are also metaphysical virtues. In the Islamic tradition, God is one but has many names. He has many attributes. And the attributes of the divine being have a certain theological and metaphysical resonance. So there are, the Prophet Muhammad, peace and blessings upon him, said that the divine being has 99 attributes, or 99 names. And the one who fully imbibes them will enter paradise. There are many interpretations of this particular saying of the Prophet Muhammad, one of which is تَخَلَّقُوا بِأَخْلَاقِ اللَّهِ. In other words, adorn yourself with the names of God. Bring into yourself the names of God, either through manifesting them, like a prism manifests the light that touches it in many different colors, or like a mirror that reflects back the light in the form the light that it receives in the form of worship. So these attributes of the divine, or these names of the divine, begin in this way: Huwallahu Ar-Rahman Ar-Rahim Al-Malik Al-Quddus As-Salam. These are the first 5 of the 99 names. He is God, who is all benevolent, ever merciful, the just sovereign, the indescribably holy, and the bringer of peace. These concepts of peace and justice, Salam and Malik, therefore are brought together at the very beginning of the divine attributes. Now, when I say that, therefore, in the Islamic tradition, peace and justice are not merely moral goods, but are also metaphysical goods, it's probably something that needs a bit more explanation. Every moral good is every moral good is a metaphysical good. But moral goods are good in terms of human nature, and metaphysical goods are good in the sense that they accord with the nature of reality, the nature of divine reality. So in the moral law, There are ideals and there are compromises. But in the metaphysical reality, there is only perfection. Peace and justice can be therefore explored from two perspectives. The first perspective is the metaphysical good, is that they accord with the nature of the divine, and a moral good, i.e., it is that to which humans should strive and attempt to achieve in this world. So the nature of the divine is one that is the bringer of peace, the one who is peace, and this is the famous supplication of the Prophet Muhammad, peace and blessings upon him. Allahumma, O God, or Elohim, sometimes might be a bit more familiar to you. Elohim, Allahumma, Anta salam, you are perfect peace. Wa minka salam, and from you comes perfect peace. فحينا بالسلام, so let us live in peace. وادخلنا برحمتك دار السلام, and let us enter the abode of everlasting peace. Here in this particular prayer, you see the various aspects and manifestations of this metaphysical good, of this bringing oneself into harmony with the divine nature by being a being of peace, by receiving peace from the ultimate peace, and by spreading peace through the world. This is the meaning, therefore, this salam is the root meaning of the word Muslim. Muslim means the one who brings peace. Literally, that's the linguistic meaning of the word Muslim. The one who brings peace, the one who spreads peace. What is peace? Now, this is another broad topic, and I can speak here partially as a theologian and partially as a psychiatrist. Peacefulness is at its root, again in Arabic, the exploration of the linguistic possibilities of the Arabic language. Arabic is considered to be a divine language, not because it is the only language spoken by God, but because it is the language of the revelation, and a language that contains pointers to reality. So the word salam in Arabic, peace, has a number of different connotations. One of them is the absence of distress. So a sense of well-being, in other words. The other is a sense of perfection. So something that is salim, the word salim is sometimes used, as you can see, closely linked to the word salam. Salim is a jewel when it has been polished and cut so that it becomes beautiful and reflects its light in all manners, in all ways. So it's been made salim, it has been made free from flaw. The salam, God who is salam, is not only the bringer of peace, but the one who is free from flaw, the one who is utterly perfect. So the sense of tranquility that comes with a sense of completeness and a sense of perfection, as well as the ordinary meaning of the word salam, which is the absence of conflict, the absence, you might say, of outward conflict between one soul and another, and the absence of inner conflict, which is within oneself a sense of tranquility, and then the absence of metaphysical conflict, which is to be entirely in harmony with the divine nature and the divine will. So the idea of harmony, perhaps, is the best way of understanding the idea of peace from an Islamic perspective. Outward harmony, inward harmony, ultimate harmony. The human being inhabits three universes. We inhabit the material universe, which is the material world around us, the world of nature, of cause and effect. We inhabit a moral universe, the world, or a mental universe, the world between the 6 inches of our cranium, how we think about things, what we believe, what we perceive to be true, and so forth. And then we inhabit a metaphysical universe, the world of the soul, the realm of the soul, the realm of the unseen, the realm where the attributes of God touch the material universe. And to be at peace is to be at peace in each of these universes. The outward material universe where we interact with other people, the inward mental universe where we interact with our own selves, and the metaphysical universe where we interact with the divine. This is a comprehensive definition of peace. And the word salam is linked to the word I mentioned at the beginning of when I read through the opening prayer, the word Rahman. The Rahman is the one who brings things to a state of salam, a state of peacefulness. So peacefulness is, or peace in this broad meaning, is a divine quality. It is a quality that humans seek to imbibe in themselves and that they seek to then spread through the universe. One receives peacefulness by the mirror of one's soul being in harmony with the divine nature. One benefits from peacefulness by absorbing that light of the divine being, and one enacts peacefulness by spreading what one has received from the divine through into the world. And that is the true nature of mercy. Mercy is to bring peace, to be at peace, and to receive peace. So what then is justice? Justice and mercy are sometimes seen as opposites of one another, but in fact they are not. Justice, from an Islamic perspective, the Malik, the one who judges the human on the Day of Judgment, is also the one who brings things into perfect balance. The name Al-Malik is linked to the name Al-Adl. Adl literally means the one who brings justice. What is justice? The word justice in Arabic has two senses. Again, same thing applies. It is a metaphysical good, i.e., it is in harmony and consonance with the divine nature, but it is also a mental good. Again, I speak as a psychiatrist, to be in a state of balance. Traditionally, one would talk about a balanced temperament, not too extreme on this side, not too extreme on that side. Balance brings stability. Stability brings a state of restfulness. In other words, a state of peacefulness. When one is internally unbalanced, one is not stable. And when one is not stable, one cannot bring balance, which is balance to the outside world. So metaphysically, to be metaphysically balanced, to be mentally balanced, is what allows then the process of attaining balance. And justice is balance, the scales literally being balanced. Balancing between, for example, one's own right and the right of another. One's own right and the right of another. Between this person's right and that person's right. God has set forth the moral universe as a balancing of rights and responsibilities. What is it that I am entitled to from my fellow human? What is it that my fellow human is entitled to from me? Balance of those rights is important. Why? Because if one gives too much of oneself, if one seeks to fulfill the rights of others without one's own right being fulfilled, eventually one becomes fatigued. One becomes fatigued, and in the long term, what you find, as we have found, I don't want to mention too many examples. It becomes real, but it also can become a bit controversial. But people will welcome others in, will welcome in the stranger until they start to realize that resources are limited, and do I now have enough? And at that point, we turn and we start to drive away the stranger. And this is what you see this in questions relating to immigration, for example. We feel a sense that we owe something to people from other countries who are fleeing oppression and so forth. And you see this in people, that occurs until they no longer can do it. When they feel that their own rights are now being compromised, and then you find a response, a pushback response. We don't want them here. They need to go back where they came from. It is the inability to bring balance that leads to an inability to bring justice, and justice and mercy are fundamentally linked to each other. It is only when we are balanced that we can bring justice, and it is only when we are stable and firm in that justice that we can bring mercy, that we can then bring about. So peace is a requirement for justice. Justice is a requirement for peace. These two concepts are integrally linked together. In the external world, in the internal world, and in the metaphysical world. What does religion have to play? What part does religion have to play in this? What part does faith have to play in this? One's mercy is restricted by one's fear, and one's ability to be just is restricted by one's fear. It is fear that prevents us from balancing rights and responsibilities. It is fear that prevents us from enacting mercy towards other people. A fear of not having justice, or justice not being done to me. A fear of mercy not being given to me. The fundamental contribution of a faith-based life is to realize that we are connected to an inexhaustible supply of both peace and justice. Once you realize that you are not pouring forth what you have from a container, but rather you are filling it from a tap, and that tap will supply endless peace and endless justice, you can then seek to pour forth as much peace and as much justice into the world as is required, because you know that yours will never run out. That is the benefit of a connection of faith, a connection to the one of inexhaustible justice and inexhaustible peace. I hope that's a little reflection that will be of benefit. I know my time is up, so I'll bring it to a close there. And may God's, as we say in as our greeting in Islam, may God's peace be upon you.
Thank you so much, Asim.
Thank you very, very much.
Thank you. It's a wonderful.
This is a wonderful way for us to close off the week with that call to justice and peace. Thank you so much.
Thank you very much. I shall remember the tap in the container.
Yes, yes.
Absolutely.
And see you next year, Asim.
So much. I think you must be getting bored. Thanks so much.
No.
Many thanks.
Can I just, before we closed, can I just also say a big thank you to Eric, because it's thanks to Eric that we've had all these wonderful speakers this week. And it's a real gift to the community. It's something that's growing, because this is the third year we've done it. And it really is a wonderful time for us to reflect on the richness of interfaith. So thank you, Eric, as well.
Thanks, Eric.
Thanks, Eric.
Thanks very much.
Thank you, Asim. That was really inspiring.
Many thanks.
Thank you.
Good.
Many thanks, Assi.
Thank you.
Bye.
Yeah.
Okay, bye-bye, everybody. Have a wonderful day.
Thank you.
Bye.
Thank you, Alan.
Bye.